Am I audible to everyone? Just show me a thumbs up if I'm audible. Show me a thumbs up if I'm audible. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here on time. It is already 4:01. We are starting the session. And the topic for today's session, what I chose to talk is understanding examination anxiety, signs, symptoms, and remedies. Why I'm talking about examination anxiety? Because if I talk about the present scenario, even the syllabus and a lot of thing is being worked upon by CBSE and all that stuff. Then also, exam is something which is a feeling for a child of a major topic like stress. So any child who give exam, any child who anywhere give any kind of exam, even any adult, any person who appear for any kind of exam, face the examination anxiety and depends. I won't say examination anxiety, but a kind of use stress is there with the person, and that is something for which we have all gathered here to talk. And that's why we are going to talk about what is examination anxiety, what are the sign and symptoms, and when you get to know what are the sign and symptoms, we will be talking about what are the ways or what are the remedies you can use as a teacher to somewhere help your children to perform better. So I hope the agenda is clear to everyone. I hope my agenda, which I wanted to share with you all, is clear to all of you. We will be discussing about understanding examination anxiety, what are the signs, symptoms, and what are the remedies to deal with that. So, the very first thing when we talk about understanding examination anxiety, the chat box is open for all, and I would request any one of you to start putting your understanding about examination anxiety. What do you mean by the word examination anxiety? Anyone? Anyone? Fear, okay. Pressure, okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anything else? Okay. So while talking about okay, lack of confidence, it is nervousness and stress. Very correct. Very, very correct. इसका मतलब every teacher here knows something about examination anxiety. So I will examination anxiety is depressed. No, examination anxiety has nothing to do with depression. Feeling confined. Okay. Um. mm, mm, what people are writing? Let me just check. That's okay. So what you all have written is almost very, very correct. Uh, examination anxiety, all of us knows. I believe majority of us knows. But when it comes to how to manage examination anxiety, what are the remedies? What are the exact symptom of feeling exam of dealing with examination anxiety? There comes the importance of talking about this thing. So we will be discussing about this in detail. And I will be briefing you what does it mean, how it is going to be helpful, what are the ways to manage with it, what are the signs, symptoms, and what are the remedies to deal with examination anxiety. Just a second. So while we talk about examination anxiety, the impact of anxiety on students' academic performance and mental well-being. So यहाँ पे in this situation, when it comes to addressing examination anxiety, one of the only person whom I feel is the educator, who plays a very vital role, very, very important role as an educator in recognizing and managing examination related stress. Any child who faces examination anxiety shares a few symptoms with their teachers, with their parents. They are the first people who can, as a barefoot counselor, can provide support to the children support to the parents, support to the person facing, you know, any concern, where they can deal with their exam related stress in a positive manner. So that is something which is very important for all of us to understand. So let us see what are the overview of anxiety. The very first thing is that anxiety is a normal emotional response. Anxiety is a normal emotional response. Stress is a natural part of life, but when it becomes overwhelming and persistent, it can lead to anxiety. All of us, I'm giving you a very simple example, and so that you can understand the difference between worrying, tension, anxiety, and stress. So, stress is a natural part of life. Any person who is alive, irrespective of whatever age, will be the person who will face stress, and that's a very natural thing. Stress is there for school principal, is there for management, is there for teachers, is there for children, for their parents, any person in this world. They all face stress. The situation becomes worse when the stress becomes overwhelming and persistent, which leads to anxiety. So that is something that we all need to understand. So let us talk about stress. So the symptoms, like very physical symptom of stress is um what stress exactly means is a natural response to demands or challenges. Whatever demand I have or whatever challenges I face, stress is induced from there only. Whatever problem you face, whatever challenges you face, whatever demands you have, your stress induced from there only. The duration, long term and short term. So if stress persists for a short term, it is called acute stress. And if stress persists for long term, it is called chronic stress. So this is something which is very important for all of us to understand, that when it comes to stress, the symptoms are physical, emotional, cognitive responses to pressure or change. Anywhere, any kind of change, or anywhere, any kind of pressure, and that pressure which is felt on physical level, emotional level, or cognitive level. Cognitive level means your thinking, belief, your analytical power, all that stuff. And stress duration will be like any stress which persists for short term period is called acute stress, and something which persists for long term period is called chronic stress. Now, many of you get confused when you read about stress and depression. Now, for example, my today's day did not went well, and I went to my principal and I said, I'm feeling depressed. Let me correct you. You are not depressed at all. You may be feeling sad. You may be feeling overwhelmed. You may be feeling irritated, agitated, but depression is not a feeling. Depression is a depression is a clinical situation. So, a persistent low mood, changes in appetite, sleep disturbances, and feeling of worthlessness, if it persists for a regular, longer level of months, then it leads to depression. Number two, mood disorder characterized by persistent sadness and lack of interest. Also, duration of depression will be at least 2 weeks for major depressive disorder. So, any person in this session who are attending my session, always remember this very simple thing. You should never use depression word as a feeling. You may feel sad, you may feel bad, you may feel low, you may feel worthless, you may feel hopeless, but that is not depression. Depression is a clinical situation. So you should also not tag this, because we as a psychologist also do not use this word to tag any child that this particular child is depressed. No, this is a very, very wrong thing. So avoid doing so. Let us try to, we spoke about stress, we spoke about depression. Let us talk about tension. What is the meaning of tension? So, tension could be something which is for a short term or could be also chronic. It is called mental or emotional strain, often due to stress or conflict. If I am having a stress or conflict related to something or any emotional strain, this can be short term or chronic term tension. What are the symptoms of tension? So, muscle stiffness, headache, and emotional strain. Physical tension like muscle stiffness. It could be frozen shoulder. It could be stiff neck. It could be headache. This is all called tension. Okay, I believe it is clear to all. Last is anxiety. For what mental tension is again a very technical word. I would always recommend, please do not use mental tension. You may say emotionally low. You may say like you may say emotional strain. But mental tension, mental word, has a lot of connection with the taboos. So when you use mental word, people feel in a very bad situation. Oh, as a mental person, this mental goes in a very wrong manner. So avoid using that. That doesn't give a good impression. Uh, Symptoms of anxiety could be persistent restlessness, muscle tension, and cognitive distress. Okay. Definition. So excessive worry or fear about future events. What will happen? What will be the future consequences? What will be the end product of this? How we will deal with it? What are the things? What will be the situation? So, and what could be the duration of it? So it could be chronic or episodic. Okay. So let us see, because these symptoms which I am going to share with you, you may find so many symptoms together in a child, or you may find a few symptoms on a very uh, combination level, or a kind of a syndrome kind of thing, like combination of so many different symptoms all together. And you may refer the child to the counselor to talk, or you may talk to yourself and you may inform the parent that this child is facing examination anxiety, so that they can seek help from someone. I believe it is clear to you all. Okay, let us talk about physical symptoms. So anxiety can manifest in a variety of physical symptoms, some of which may include increased heart rate. If the child is feeling very high palpitations and is saying to you that I can hear my heartbeats through my ears, immediately understand that the child is facing examination anxiety. Because anxiety can manifest physically, such as elevated heart rate, nausea or stomach discomfort, बार बार लूज मोशन लग रहा है, बार बार फीलिंग बहुत उल्टी आ रही है बट उल्टी हो नहीं रही है, अलॉट ऑफ पेट दर्द, बहुत ज्यादा पेट दर्द हो रहा है, बार बार मे बी बार बार मोशन फील हो रहा है. बट दिस इज नॉट समथिंग विच पीपल थिंक कि इंट्रोकोनाल खा लो, पुदीन हरा खा लो, इन्फर्मरी जाके लेट जाओ. नो, somebody has to talk about it, because fear is something which is reflected in terms of action, in terms of some symptoms, in terms of some behavior aspect. So I would very strongly recommend to at least talk to the child. Medicinal support will not solve the problem completely, so it has to be spoken. Nausea or stomach discomfort. So some students may experience gastrointestinal symptoms, headache. If you find a child sitting with the head down on the table, go talk to the child. Ask the child, how are you? What has happened? Brief me, tell me. Let me see how can I help you. Because when you give a kind of comfort zone to a child by asking them, by talking to them in a positive manner, it will reduce the common physical symptom as headache. Excessive sweating as another indicator of anxiety. Maybe the child is sweating a lot, sweating like but the complete shirt is wet, or the hand or the palm is so wet, and the child is shivering a little, or maybe not shivering, but you can see that he or she is, they are facing too much of sweat and saying weather is too hot or something like that. Speak to them for 2 minutes. It's okay, I understand. Let us sit, let us talk about it. It will help them. I'm telling you all the physical symptoms which anxiety resembles, like trembling. Shaking may also occur under stress, so that is also very common. What are the psychological symptoms? So, if a child says, "Ma'am, I'm so definitely going to fail in maths," and child laughs, it's okay. But when you can see that the child has tears, is feeling very bad, is feeling not giving a very positive approach to failure, you may understand that the child must be facing anxiety. Fear of failure is a very common psychological symptom of anxiety. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk like, um, I'm good for nothing, my parents will think bad about me. These are general things. When a child is facing anxiety and they use such words, I didn't studied, nobody helped me, I kept on asking, nobody helped me. These kind of, but when they start cursing themselves, this life is worthless, I'm good for nothing, sir, you try to understand, nobody is going to understand, my parents will talk very bad with me, they will make my fun, they will let other relatives know that I'm very bad, and all things like that. Immediately understand this is something leading towards psychological symptoms of examination anxiety, examination stress. Irritability. Now in India, irritability is something which is generally dealt with pressure, fear, or a kind of slap or yeah, abusive words by parents or teachers. I will always tell one very simple thing. Any child who is showing mood changes, or any child who is easily becoming irritable with so many smallest things, may be giving very clear psychological symptoms of examination anxiety. Don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you, oh it's irritated, or you are finding this child fighting with every next person, or the child has suddenly become so silent, then you can understand very easily by listening to them that they are irritated from inside, but they don't want to talk to anyone. It is also a sign of anxiety, especially in exam term. Difficulty concentrating. The same question child is reading again and again and again and again, but is not able to understand what does it mean. Asking you again and again, sir, tell me what does it mean. Sir, I'm not getting. Sir, can you please tell me which chapter it has come from? Try to understand the child is facing somewhere anxiety. Sleep disturbances. If the parent says the child is facing sleepless night, or you see some potential for disrupted sleep patterns, you see the child is not sleeping well, you can see in the eyes are swell, or you can see that the child eye has become a little red or little yellowish, something like that. I'm not asking you to take the child to infirmary and ask to sleep. Ask the child, how are you, what happened. Somewhere try to make them ease, somewhere try to make them ease. I'm just asking this question to everyone. Am I audible to you all? Because I can see so many messages in my chat box that I'm not audible, I am not audible. So may I know, am I audible? Am I audible? Show me a thumbs up because I cannot understand. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope I am clearly audible. There is no issue. There is no glitches. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. So sleep disturbance has also direct connection with the students' anxiety pattern. So have to try to understand that when it comes to somewhere seeing a child facing some emotional concerns, some emotional issues, not sleeping well, it is very common. Na? Before exam, we read a little, we read about something. That is okay. That is completely fine. But having sleepless nights, After exam even not happy, in exam even not happy, before exam also not happy. This is something where you as an educator need to just sit with the child for 5 minutes, ask, it's okay, tell me what has happened, okay, just listen. Believe me, listening is often the only tool needed to help someone. Listening is all often only the tool needed to help someone. So it's very important. Let us talk about cognitive symptoms. When we talk about cognitive symptoms, what could be the cognitive symptoms? Very, very simple one is racing thoughts. Anxiety may lead to an influx of rapid and intrusive thoughts. ऐसा कर दे, वैसा कर दे, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. Facing so, and you can see the child is thinking so fast. There are so many things coming in the mind all together. This is also a very clear cognitive symptom of examination anxiety. Mind blanks. Sir, I have studied everything. Sir, I have done everything, but I cannot think anything about it. Sir, मैं ना सब पढ़ के आता हूँ. जैसे ही क्वेश्चन पेपर मेरे सामने आता है, मैं सब भूल जाता हूँ. It is something where your mind is going blank because you are thinking too much about your exams results in place of your efforts, and that's why you are cognitively facing difficulties in concentrating. So this is very important to understand. Difficulty organizing thoughts, challenges in organizing and expressing thoughts. The child finds it difficult to organize their thoughts, and they find challenges in organizing and expressing what they feel, what they have, what kind of things is going on in their life, and things like that. Poor decision making. The children who face anxiety, it can affect their decision making abilities for some time even. So, what is the solution? Talk to them. What to talk? So, listen what they are facing. आई एम टेलिंग यू, आपको अपनी लाइफ में वो इंसान सबसे अच्छा लगता होगा जो आप जब आप बोलते हैं वो आपको सिर्फ सुनता है. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू लिसन समवन, टू टॉक टू समवन. What could be the social symptoms? So, communication difficulties. Like the child may be facing, like they may be facing that even in the group of 100 people, I'm alone, and they are not communicating their things properly. What they are feeling from inside is they are hiding. They're hiding the thing, whatever is there in mind, whatever they are feeling, and they are finding it difficult to express themselves and communicate things effectively. Social withdrawal. Anxiety may lead to isolation and withdrawal from social activities. So, if a child is facing socially withdrawal, anxiety could be the major reason beside it. The child may feel nobody talks to me, nobody wants to be my friend from when the exam started or the exam is about to start. I'm feeling so bad from then. Nobody is there with me. I'm all alone at home. I'm all alone in school. Even the teachers also do neglection with me and things like that. Immediately connect this could be a social symptom of anxiety. Irritability with peers. They may find it very difficult that their peers, their friends, their people who are there in their life, in their class, are doing a competition with them. They are not cooperating them. They are very bad to them and things like that. Have to be very very clearly understand. Nazia ma'am has shown a thumbs up. Sir, you are very right. I This is something which I am telling you, a very scientific thing. What science is talking about it? What exactly the things written in the symptoms of the, like textbooks and the symptoms in the anxiety part. So I'm sharing you with that thing only. Just try to understand. Thank you so much for your feedback. You all have written good comments and showing so much of thumbs up. I'm very very grateful to all of you for all the uh, your good feedbacks and things like that. I would just say one very simple thing. Try to connect, because helping someone is a very graceful act. A very, very graceful act. We have to understand when, where, why, and how. to help someone. What could be the environmental factors or reason, to examination anxiety? So, very, very simple is lack of proper preparation. When children do not prepare well, they face anxiety. It's a natural thing. You and I have also faced this. Maybe the level could be a little less or could be a little high. It's okay. But we have also faced anxiety. I have also faced anxiety. It's natural. It's natural. There's no life without it. But we need to understand how to deal with it. High academic expectations. When parents have too much of expectations, also teachers have too much of expectations. School is asking children to perform well, and it leads to student asking. Sometimes it is self-created pressure. They are asking themselves too much about how to get good marks, how to get good marks, things like that. Pressure from parents or teachers. External expectations contribute to anxiety. Any child who travels in the time of exams to the Masi's house, Nani's house, to a marriage, to any person, or maybe holy people coming, meeting, talking, they all talk about this. How are the things? How are the things? How are you preparing for your exams? How is your exam practice going on? What is your planning? What is going to be in the future? Every person is somewhere provoking them to be stressed. And they all know it is a common natural human nature to keep an eye, to keep on check that nobody is going better than me, better than my child, better than my relatives. And that is something which also somewhere leads to stress for a child. Fear of judgment or criticism, the impact of fear of being judged by peers or teachers, what my teachers will think about me. If a child is very, very concerned about their image, what my teacher will think about me, what my parents will say, what my peers will say, what my relatives will say, immediately connect. The child is getting affected from the environmental factors and is somewhere facing anxiety. So it is very, very important to understand. What could be other symptoms? So, obsessive focus on grades. What the child knows, what the child doesn't know, doesn't matter, but the child wants great grades. Excessive focus on grades can contribute can contribute to anxiety, procrastination, too much avoiding doing things, and so anxiety could also lead to procrastination as coping mechanism. Avoidance of study groups, tendency to avoid collaborative learning environments. So this is something which are the symptoms there. What are the strategies for educators? Let us talk about it. How you can help children to come out of examination anxiety. Because we spoke about the ways to deal with it, let us talk about how to come out of examination anxiety. Any questions till now? We have discussed so many things. The chat box is open. If you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to ask. Put it in the chat box. I'll try to answer the question. What are the ways to be managed as an educator that I will let you know? At present, I'm asking you if there is any question. Anyone having any question? No question. Okay. How to motivate in such students such way? I'm going to answer that only. Okay. Fine. Just a second. Okay. So So, what are the strategies for educators to deal with such students? Number one is encourage open communication. Stress the importance of creating an environment where students feel comfortable discussing their concerns. जरूरी नहीं है कि हर बच्चा टॉप करेगा. But I am concerned about those children जो top करेगा और जो top नहीं करेगा दोनों. Why? Because जो top करेगा उसे top पे टिके रहने का stress है, और जो top नहीं करेगा उसको top पे पहुंचने का stress है. So that is something where we need to understand that if you feel any child is facing any such behavioral issues, any such problem, any such issues, you can speak to the children, you can talk to them, you can have some words with them, at least listen to them. Na? You are not supposed to solve their problem. Nobody can solve our problem. But when somebody listens to us, it helps us to understand. So whether you are a young teacher or you are an old teacher or you have just came as a teacher for a few days even, listening is often the only tool needed to help someone. Just listen what the child says, what the child is facing, what the concern the child has. When you will listen, you will understand that how to guide the child. But while listening, maintain eye contact, look in their eyes, try to see from their perspective, try to feel the discomfort they are facing in their shoes as a child, and try to help them out. Next is teach stress management techniques. So, deep breathing, mindfulness, progressive muscle relaxation. These are all videos available on YouTube. If you don't know how to get it done, open the YouTube, put it down. So, deep breathing, mindfulness, progressive muscle relaxation, and help children to practice these things, to learn these things as a part of their life. It will help them to improve. Provide a supportive learning environment. The role of educator is creating a safe and supportive classroom atmosphere. When a classroom atmosphere is safely created with a safe, supportive thing to children, it helps. Encourage a growth mindset. Ask children and tell it to all the children. Everybody will not top. Some of you may be in good, some of you may have a little good luck into some exams. Some of may have not a very good luck in some exams. Some of may have practiced so well, writing is not good. Some of you may have writing also good, practiced also well. Depends. Just try to focus on one thing, whatever you are learning from school, how you can inculcate these values, these learnings into your personality to get good future, and tell them that the best entrepreneurs and like entrepreneurs or the best businessman or the best people who have done so well into the finances and all that other domains, there are very less possibilities they could have been a topper of their school. So you're not supposed to be a topper to be a successful person. You are supposed to be knowledgeable to become a successful person. You are supposed to be knowledgeable to become a successful person. To qualify UPSC exam or to give an ISP, this any kind of UPSC exam, IAS, PCS, whatever you talk about. To give any such exam, you need knowledge, you need skills, you need practice. But if that knowledge is not part of your personality, if those knowledge are not part of your attributes, your personality traits, one day you will commit suicide. And we have seen so many people, well educated, high IQ cases, when they committed suicide on a very small emotional trauma or a very small emotional strain. So it could be a case of low EQ, low emotional quotient. In present day, we don't need all the children with high IQ. We need children with good IQ and a very good EQ. Even low IQ with high EQ will work, but high IQ with low EQ will not work. Teach your children, ask them, tell them it is very important to be good in EQ than IQ. You are very good in maths, doesn't matter. You are very bad when there's a situation when you don't get good marks to deal with that feeling. You have to think about it. I have hundreds of celebrities, or examples of celebrities, examples of the uh, people from high authority positions, or the people from good financial background. They committed suicide. They ended their life. They were very high IQ people with a lot of finances. They committed suicide. Why? Because of low EQ. In the present India, we are not looking for a child good with IQ only. IQ is important, but EQ is more important than IQ in the present scenario. So I would very, very, very strongly recommend, dear teachers, encourage a growth mindset inside the class. Ask children to become a good human, to learn good values, to practice those values, because the present generation is dying because of marks only. So have to understand, as an educator, if you will say, beta, you don't study math, you keep on going for dance classes and all, it is not going to help you. You will do bad in your life. Let me tell you, a a dance person, if become a good celebrity, earns more than a maths teacher. More than a maths teacher. Some of you may not like it, but I'm telling you the honest as a psychologist, a very clear fact. Pandit Birju Maharaj from Varanasi, he never went for school. Took his Kathak to the level that he was taking 4 lakh for 1 hour program. It could be salary of a math teacher for the entire year. So focus more on skills. If a child is good at something, ask them to explore that. It is very important for you. Ask students to develop values. Ask students that, beta, everything is okay. Tell me, how will you face a situation when things are not going according to your wish? How will you deal with a situation when everybody is talking bad about you? Because children get good. I have so many people in touch with me from Bangalore, Mumbai, all over the India, even a few overseas as well. They tell very simple things, and I feel I laugh at them at times. Like, look at this. This was the life skill you were supposed to learn in a very early age. And I'm going to my boss office and people are leg pulling me and I'm feeling very bad. I'm feeling sad because of it. Because you never faced this issue in your college time, in your lifetime. Even your parents also protected and kept you in a shell for a very long period. This kind of overprotective people will always raise best liars. It is not going to help. So let us try to understand our role is very important as an educator, to help children to learn some basic life skills. That what is the difference in a humor? What is the difference in a normal friendship fun? I have seen cases of bullying where children have done very taken very wrong steps in their life. What could be the classroom technique as an educator? Break down the task into smaller goals. Try to break down, maybe you are a good teacher, very good teacher, but when you are teaching a child and all the learners sitting inside the class are different kind of learners, they learn in different patterns in different ways. For them, you need to divide the task into smaller group. So maybe you are teaching A, B, C, D, E, F together. Teach A first, take a break. B, take a break. C, take a break. So that you can understand what kind of learner you have and what kind of ways you are going to use for them to be dealt with it. Number two, implement relaxation techniques. Believe me, it works. I'm asking you and I'm requesting you. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Sit erect. सीधा बैठिए, बिल्कुल कमर सीधी. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Take 2 to 3 normal breathing. एक लंबी गहरी सांस भरिए और धीरे धीरे छोड़िए. Again, take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Once you will do this thing 2 to 3 times, you will find so much of difference in yourself. Think about a young mind, a young brain, who is not, who could not even ever experience the breathing part. Tell them deep breathing, the importance of deep breathing, the importance of such thing in their examination anxiety management. Promote effective time management. Ask children to divide bigger tasks into smaller tasks and ask them to study in chunking. Make study schedule. Ask them to manage time effectively. And do not ask any child to stop playing during exams. I always ask children, play as much as you can during exams and study as much as you can during exams. So the parent says, sir, you are asking a very wrong thing from our children. They'll keep on playing for the entire day. I said, I have not said to play for the entire day. I said that if you are going for 2 hours to play, play like anything. Football, volleyball, play some outdoor game like anything. And while you are sitting for studying, believe me, your learning will improve, your way of study will improve. I am sometimes surprised why in the exam times the school stop the sports period. Trust me, let your children come to the school, have your sports period for the first period, and then take exam. Have your children one sport period, like a standard. For me, a standard school will be the children came to school, they went for half an hour playing. They all played for half an hour, went to the examination room, gave brilliant exams. After the exam, they again came back, played for half an hour, and with the dancing music, they went back home. You will see tremendous improvement in the school setup. You will see the children doing so well in academics that you will think like what has happened exactly. इतने अच्छे रिजल्ट कैसे आ रहे हैं? The very simple reason is what Swami Vivekanand has said, फुटबॉल खेलो तभी गीता समझ में आएगी. Like body and mind are integrated unit. If you are physically working hard for something, it will affect your mental level. And if you are mentally struggling for something, it will affect your physical level. So, to feel good mentally, you need to feel good physically as well. And to feel good physically, you need to feel good mentally as well. It is vice versa. Have just give it a try. You will find children having better concentration, better memory, better understanding. Building resilience. In this slide, we'll discuss about how to build this resilience in students from and they navigate challenges. To build resilience, one very simple approach. Teach children that failure is very, very important for success. जैसे सुख के साथ दुख important है. यदि आपको खूब तेज धूप से ले जा करके आधे घंटे की जर्नी के बाद एक ठंडे पेड़ की छाया में बिठाया जाए और वहां ठंडा ठंडा शरबत पिलाया जाए, तो आपको उस छां की, उस पेड़ की, उस शरबत की, उस पानी की, उस टेम्परेचर की, सब चीज की वैल्यू समझ में आएगी. उसी तरीके से जब आप एग्जाम्स में सिचुएशंस को फेस करते हैं, अपनी लाइफ में चैलेंजेस को फेस करते हैं, आपको उसके बाद जो चीजें मिलती हैं वो आपको ब्लेसिंग्स लगती हैं. So it is very important to understand how to deal with it. Very, very important to understand. Because we as an educator, I am telling you with a clear, very clear, confident word. Believe me, a teacher's single statement change life of a child. एक टीचर का एक सामान्य साधारण वाक्य एक बच्चे की जिंदगी बदल सकता है. चूज योर वर्ड्स वेरी वाइजली। बिल्कुल बुद्धिमत्ता के साथ शब्दों का चयन किया करिए, क्योंकि जब आप किसी बच्चे को कहते हैं कि तुमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, बिलीव में वो नहीं कर पाएगा। आई एम टेलिंग यू वेरी ब्यूटीफुल स्टोरी, यू कैन कनेक्ट विद इट। वंस देयर वाज अ सिचुएशन that a 9-year-old girl was playing with a 5-year-old boy. The both children खेलते खेलते they went a little थोड़ा सा आउटर में, and there was a well, एक कुआं था, उस कुएं में वो लड़की खेलते खेलते गिर गई जो 9 साल की थी। जो 5 साल का बच्चा उसके साथ खेल रहा था, वो लड़की अंदर से चिल्ला रही है बचाओ बचाओ। 5 साल का बच्चा वहां पे चिल्ला रहा है, कोई बचाओ कोई बचाओ कोई बचाओ, कोई नहीं आया। Then this child took the rope जो वहां पे लगी हुई थी, उसने उस रोप को पानी में डाला, उस बच्ची ने उस रोप को पकड़ा और इसने उसको पूरा ऊपर खींचा और बाहर निकाला। जब ये दोनों बच्चे वहां से अपने गांव लौट के आए, तो इन्होंने ये बात सबको बताई। लोग इनके ऊपर हंसने लगे। तो इन दोनों बच्चों को गांव के मुखिया के पास ले गया गया और मुखिया से कहा गया कि ये लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि एक जंगल में खेलने गए थे, वहां पे ये लड़की 9 साल की जो है ये पानी में गिर गई थी और ये 5 साल का बच्चा कह रहा है कि इसने उसको बाहर निकाल दिया, जो कि उससे आधी उम्र का है। ऐसा कैसे संभव है? मुखिया ने कहा ये दोनों बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं, बिल्कुल सच कह रहे हैं, बिल्कुल इस बच्चे ने उसको पानी से निकाल लिया होगा। So everybody started looking in a very staring way at the mukhia and they said, why? Listen what the mukhia said. He said, क्योंकि उस जंगल में इस 5 साल के बच्चे को ये बताने वाला कोई नहीं था कि तुम ये नहीं कर सकते। That's why he could do that. So when you tell someone their limit, this is your limit, you can do this much only, their mind reads it in a very, very wrong manner. It takes like I can do this much only. So try to understand very simple thing. Your word as a teacher matters a lot. Even if a child did not do well in the exams and the parents are there in front, then also say that the child needs to work hard, yet he has so much of chances to improve, so much of chances to do well, and so much of chances to perform better. When you use these words for a child inside the class in front of a parent, believe me, the child fills with confidence and the child thinks about this, that this could be the person who can understand my situation. I understand nowadays children are using too much of mobile phone, too much of things. Who gave them the mobile phone? Asking the parents that parents you have given mobile phone to your children is not the solution. We have also given so many tasks online. So this is something where we have to understand that our role is very important, how feedback we give. Positive learning environment. In a school setup, it is very important to use a positive learning environment. A positive and inclusive classroom environment has a significant impact on students' resilience. And the impact of positive thing is like while you talk to children, while you speak to children, you are clear to them that what you are telling them is there to teach them, not to make them feel bad or make them feel good. किसी बच्चे को अच्छा बुरा फील कराने के लिए आप मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ा रहे हैं, आप उसको मैथ्स के ये एस्पेक्ट्स आने चाहिए ताकि वो उसको लाइफ में इस्तेमाल करे, इसके लिए मैथ्स पढ़ा रहे हैं। द मोमेंट यू विल टेल दिस, it will change everything. Somebody, for example, if you tell me, Arpit, you are a very bad person, I will feel very bad. But if you say, Arpit, you are a very good person, but the thing is, the kind of words you have used here, that's not a good behavior. I will not feel that bad as I will feel bad as a bad person. Selection of words is very important. Teach problem solving skills. Any child whom you see facing examination anxiety, any problem, ask them that how to deal with this situation. Sit with me. I will guide you. I will teach you what to do with it. What are the ways to deal with it? What are the things to, do for this? Value of mistakes. It is very important for you as an educator to teach children why making mistakes are important. Edison make 1100 plus mistakes, so he made a bulb. पहली बार में कोई चीज बन जाए, कुछ नया हो जाए, तो वो कोई डिस्कवरी नहीं है, वो एक रिसर्च हो सकता है. So that is something which is very important. Collaborate with the parents. Collaboration with the parent in a school setup of the educator and the parents plays a very crucial role. Plays a very crucial role, and it is important for you to understand as an educator what to do into this situation when it comes to collaborating with parents. Start with a sandwich feedback. Tell good things about the child. Tell what are the things where the child is lacking and how the child can manage, and then again tell good things about the child, and then end the conversation. Believe me, if you will give a call to the parents will feel so happy. They will wait for the PTM to come to school. So always use sandwich feedback method. Anytime when you feel the child is facing any issues, any concern, where you think that the concern is somewhere which is going beyond your expertise, you cannot help much, ask children to go for professional help. Give them some help related to their professional stuff. Ask them to go to a counselor, to a psychologist, to talk about their concerns, their problems, their issues. And this is something which will help them to improvise well in their life. It is something which is very, very important for all of us to understand. So, hence, I end the session here and I come to the question and answer round. If you have any question, any question, any doubts, please feel free to put it in the chat box. I would love to answer that. I'm waiting for you to put your things in the chat box. Don't do that. I'm in an online session, beta. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Please feel free to put the questions in the chat box. Any doubts, any question? Waiting for the questions. Thank you so much for all your very, very kind, warm feedback. Thank you so much. Would love to have some questions. Sometimes parents blame only teacher for result. I believe it's a blame game. They blame you for their lacking. You blame them for your lacking. In case of if some parent come and blame that this is the fault of the teacher, ask the parents that, sir, okay, I accept this is fault of the teacher. Tell me what you are expecting me to do. I have taught in the class, the child is supposed to revise. I'm making a sheet here. Every day, what your child has revised back at home, you will give me a WhatsApp. Give some tasks to them. It is easy to blame anyone as a teacher, as a parent, but this is something where it is our importance to tell them, because blaming game is not, um, not helpful for any one of us. Long breathing technique applicable for everyone. Yes, if the child or the person is not having any medical condition, this long deep breathing technique will help everyone. आप YouTube पे जाइए, आपको डीप ब्रीदिंग के ऊपर, प्रोग्रेसिव मसल रिलैक्सेशन के ऊपर, गाइडेड इमेजरी के ऊपर, माइंडफुलनेस के ऊपर लाखों वीडियोस मिलेंगे, एंड ऑल दोज वीडियोस विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल. आप देखिए आपके यहाँ बच्चे कौन सा कर पाते हैं, पहले खुद करके देखिए. यू विल हैव सम कॉन्फिडेंस इन योर वर्ड्स. तो अगर कभी कोई बच्चा बिल्कुल लिखना या पढ़ना नहीं चाहता है तो क्या करें? देखिए, कोई भी बच्चा लिखना या पढ़ना नहीं चाहता, उसका सिंपल सा रीजन यही हो सकता है कि बच्चे को पढ़ाई की इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं पता है. बच्चे को पेरेंट्स यदि सारी चीजें उसके बेड पे दे दे रहे हैं, घर पे बैठे बैठे नौकर सब कुछ कर दे रहे हैं, तो बच्चे नहीं करना चाहते. लेट अस ट्राई टू सी बच्चे का एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट क्या है, बच्चा किस चीज की वजह से पढ़ना अवॉइड कर रहा है, बच्चा किस चीज की वजह से फोकस नहीं करना चाह रहा है, कौन सी चीज है जो बच्चे का अटेंशन एकेडमिक से ज्यादा खींच रही है अपनी ओर, आप उस एरियाज को समझने की कोशिश करिए. ट्राई टू गेट अ लिटिल मोर फ्रेंडली टू द चाइल्ड एंड ट्राई टू सी द इनर वर्ल्ड ऑफ द चाइल्ड कि बच्चे के मन में चल क्या रहा है. The more you will get answers of such questions, what kind of child is this, what kind of learning pattern this learner loves, what is the beautiful thing about this child, you will get to know ways to deal with that situation. Thank you for all the very warm feedback, everyone. I'm just uh, you're all a very good teacher, you are all a very good teacher. I'm just any question? No question now. Any other question? I cannot see anything in the chat box now. Any questions? Any questions? Anyone? Any doubts? Any question? Should we give some type of punishment to senior students? Punishment has never helped, nor it will help. So I am saying a very strict no to use any kind of punishment. In place of putting up punishment in terms of beating things like that, please avoid doing so. You will be charged under the corporal punishment. The best option is give some extra task to the child. You may ask the children to sit in the library to complete a few notebooks and all that stuff which is left, and that can help. That is okay. But don't go for any kind of punishment. It is unadvisable. Okay. So with this, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, and thank you for all your warm feedback. I'm very grateful and for your graceful presence. Thank you and Jai Hind, all of you. Thank you so much.